Timer went off. I ain't ready. I ain't ready. Go ahead and click on over here. Sometimes you just read something you don't want to read. Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, we don't know nothing. We don't know anything. Oh my goodness. You know what I was looking at this morning? I'm not even sure where this is going to go. I was going to talk about one thing completely different. Next thing you know, I ran into Stranger at the Pentagon. Has any of y'all read this book? I'm not sure if I want to read. We don't know anything, y'all. We don't know anything. We don't know what's on the bottom of the ocean. And that's what's behind me. This is the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, it looked like a river, doesn't it? You know, they got rivers down there. Oh my goodness. We don't know anything. And everything is held from us, from our great overlords of the Matrix that create all this nonsense. And I think there are people over them. Hang on, I ain't ready. I just ain't ready. My emotions, man. I'm just Valiant Thor. I'm not even sure where to go there. It's just so much. Between Valiant Thor just a few minutes ago and Eisenhower. It's Eisenhower, right? And the alien at the Pentagon, Stranger at the Pentagon, the whistleblowers, the UFO flying around, and now they admitted that's real, and Space Force and aliens and Bob Lazar. Between all of that and consciousness and transforming dimensions and oh my goodness, in the Noah's Ark. Did y'all hear that Noah's Ark is the pyramid or a pyramid? I'm like, oh my God. I had a great weekend. Oh, it was a wonderful weekend. I look into all this stuff and say, we don't know nothing. Well, apparently with the whole, because, you know, you get the Christian folk and the Muslim folk, and they think that the scriptures start at the core of civilization. That's not really the case. The kings and lords been up to stuff a long time. Well, apparently there's a word that was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls that explained that the top of Noah's Ark, which could have been Gilgamesh's Ark, apparently was a point. It looked like a pyramid. They translated the word. So we don't know anything. And now the ancient Egyptians apparently had museums, which is where they had all of these extinct species from all over the planet, which makes sense, which is why it might be an ark. And there's no way that they built the pyramid, let alone the Great Pyramid, let alone the Sphinx. Because according to the, the text that they keep in Turin, I believe it was, the most complete kings list from Egypt explains that they went back 36,000 years, which might make the Sphinx make some sense, but makes none of this make any damn sense. All it's doing is putting together a story that we don't know anything. We don't know anything. And every little bit and piece of what we know is handed to us by people that we let have massive amounts of secrets. I mean, even the great sloth. Did you know there's a guy looking for the giant sloth? We live in a fantasy world, people. Hang on. I'm not even ready. My emotions bother me right now. There's just so much, I can't even process all of this. Right, the Tasmanian tiger was dead. Now that we know that it wasn't dead, that they kept it secret. Now there's a guy's at university looking for the giant sloth. The sloth is like the big, the sloth. Y'all know the sloth, the big as a mammoth, walking around with big hooks, climbing on the trees in the Amazon. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. If the Tasmanian tiger is still alive, then hell yeah, the sloth could be too. The only thing I ask y'all, if y'all find a giant sloth, do not tell the Americans. Do not tell them. Don't tell them. They're going to find a way to broil it and boil it and bake it, fry it, stick some okra up his butt and some stuffing and eat it. Don't tell the Americans about it at all. If the sloth is alive, please protect the sloth. I ain't even ready. It's just too much. So much. My laptop's not even ready. I can't start if I want to. This thing is thinking about it. And so much. Then you got Antarctica. And I don't know why people still debate that Antarctica is there because of the oil. It ain't there because of the oil, dummy. I mean, person. We blow up nations for oil, people. It's just so much. We don't know anything. You know, the 200 bases on Antarctica. Over 200 bases with tanks and drones and bombs and battleships. And we think they're down there doing science. And I think it might be a penguin barbecue, but I'm gonna tell you, if it's a penguin barbecue, that's the most delicious beef or piece of meat, chicken thing on the planet. Because that don't make no damn sense. America don't spend no trillions of dollars for no penguin meat. Let alone do it for oil they can't even get to because it's frozen under ice. There's something down in Antarctica. We don't even know that. I've spent my weekend looking at all the whistleblowers and theories and stuff. It boggles my mind because we know nothing. Nothing, man. Nothing, man. I didn't even listen to Bob Marley this morning. I'm so bothered. Did y'all hear about Val Valiant Thor? And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest, totally honest with you. Full disclosure, unlike your government. Full disclosure. I think I remember this story when I was a kid, and I thought it was a story. And it doesn't even stop there when my mind is popping this morning. And I'm gonna tell you how I got started. I had a dream last night. Oh my goodness, I ain't gonna tell you all the dream. I ain't gonna tell you. And I had a dream, and it was just so ridiculously, ignorantly vibrant. What they call it, lucid dreaming. It bothered me. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I started looking up lucid dreaming. And I was supposed to write down what I saw, and I listened to my hippies and my conscious people, and I started writing down everything I saw. But then it led me to the multiverse, our dreams, visions in the multiverse, you know, I don't know, different universes or something. Kind of felt like it. It was real. People there I know was dead was there, which is the creepiest thing. That's part of it. I got the hell up. I couldn't stay asleep. And so I started looking into it, and one of the people talking about what you're supposed to do when you're lucid dreaming mentioned this guy in Japan. Have y'all heard about this guy in Japan? Apparently in the 1950s, he got off a airplane at the airport, and they tried to stamp his passport, and it said he was from Taured. I gotta look this up. Hang on, Taured or something like that. And it wasn't even a country. And so they grabbed him, and you know, they questioned him. They looked at his passport, had Taured. Apparently, it was a country between France and Spain or something. The Man From Taured or something like that. Man, I'm just there's a whole bunch of, all right, you know. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. And so the theory was that he jumped universes or jumped string theory, all this stuff that we don't really understand. And, you know, he had a passport. He explained it. It was stamped by Japan because he traveled there a couple times back and forth. And after they questioned him, they wanted to keep him. So they detained him and they put him in a guarded hotel room because they wanted to question him the next day. And the next day they opened the guarded hotel room. He was gone. He was like, I got to get the hell up out of there. He was gone, and all his paperwork vanished from the, I guess the airport office, wherever it was. Was that someone who jumped into our dimension or jumped out? I gotta drink some more coffee. That's all. It's possible. It's possible. I'm an economic guy. I think if that, let me tell you the truth on that story. Let me just find the name of it, because I get excited by this stuff, and it's just like, we don't know anything. If there's UFOs flying around, they're hiding free energy from us, then we just don't know any damn thing. Our government, we've made the perfect matrix making machine that's a monster, and we need to get rid of it. You know, if you own a patent office, you own everybody's reality. That's really what it comes down to, I think. If you own a patent office, you have the ultimate power. You have the power of a god. Like, think about it like this. If you print the money and you have the gross domestic product and intellectual capital of 340 million people, and everything they invent, and every corporation that invents, and every corporation around the world wants to come to you because you got this economy that they want to jump into, and these captive customers called silly Americans, where you can buy a law, make everybody eat, stick the product up your butt, put it on the eyes, the skin, you can poison everybody. The government just keeps writing new laws. All you got to do is buy the politicians and pay them off. So every corporation comes to your land, but they got to go through your patent office, and you just grab the patents you want. I think everything's possible. I think you could probably time travel. You could make floating devices. You could make free energy. You could make UFOs. I think you could do anything. You got people that dumb. The sky is the limit. Y'all, I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I just got all kind of stuff going through my head this morning. Good morning, everybody. I love it. I love YouTube. I love that rabbit hole, baby. I will go down that rabbit hole, and you know what? All you'll see is a butt and a bunny tail, and I'll be down digging in that rabbit hole. With is it Cinderella? Who found out the Alice in Wonderland? I'll fall down there. I don't care about your world. I don't care about your news, because they lie about everything here. It's called Taured. 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 The Man From Taured is called the Man from a Parallel Universe. And then you got string theory being a real thing, and so it's just like, anyway. I don't know, time traveler. You know what? I don't think he was who said that? Christine? Who said that? Rebecca? I don't think he was Christine. I don't think he was a time traveler. I don't know. I looked at the story, and to me, honestly, what do I think? I think I don't know what I think. I don't know. We at the bottom of the ocean, and this is a river. we already know it's at the bottom of the ocean. I don't think he's a time traveler, because then what? I mean, like, what would be the point? Like, you know, if you just popped in an airplane flying to Japan, you land in Japan right after World War II. You say you're a businessman and go to, like, there has to be a point. I think if you have a time travel machine, you got some sort of profit that you need to make out of this project. And I think if he had a time travel device, they probably would have found it, I would guess. I would think if anything, he jumped the universes like, who was it? OA? Y'all watch that show on Netflix? Do your homework. You need to watch the show. If he was in some string theory thing, jumped universes or something, or an accident, which it sounds like, I think the Japanese government grabbed him. That's what I think. I don't think he was a time traveler, because he didn't get nothing out of it. I don't think he disappeared. Unfortunately, I'm an American. And being an American, it means I have I'm an American with a brain and I read. Because I'm American with a brain and I read and I think for myself, I just believe government's always behind it. I really do. I think they grabbed that dude. I think once they found out, this man from Taured, is that the name of it? Taured, he jumped universes or something, string theory. I mean, this is back around the Einstein time, so it was a theory back then. I think they just grabbed him. They just said, hey brother, you coming with us? They went to the airport, they got all the paperwork. Because government's like the same way the American government grabs every patent that can be related to free energy. Ooh, the same reason Val, Valiant, Thor came. I want to talk about all this stuff and I don't even know where to get started. It's too much. Maybe I'm just going to just not talk about nothing today. It's just too much. Because that's what Val, Valiant, Thor. Oh, let me play this real quick, because I did have this cheat. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? So much. I'll play this.
Could be created. Phil Schneider had been found dead shortly thereafter, making the last video recording of Phil Schneider the only evidence of his claims and the picture he possessed, which can be found on YouTube today. Due to this, Phil Schneider's passing makes the last video clip recorded and the book the only surviving witness account of the events. According to the book, Val Valiant Thor landed on March 16, 1957 in Alexandria, Virginia, where two policemen approached the craft with their weapons drawn on the alien, only for him to immediately counter their attacks by using advanced techniques of what was described as thought transference to essentially use mind control to manipulate the policeman to drop their weapons and drive him to Washington, D.C., which is exactly what they did without any hesitation or struggle. This would not be the last of the extent of this mind control tactic used, as Val Valiant Thor would then go on to manipulate high military personnel that allowed him to pass through high security.
You know how my brain works? Before we go to this, because this is how he got into the Pentagon. Apparently he landed in Alexandria, Virginia, which I didn't know. That's why I grew up not too far from there. I didn't see Val Valiant nor his UFO, but then again, they wouldn't have told me about it. They were trying to use it for a free energy device. Scopolamine. I like to think of things in terms of what we do is probably what they do, and as above, so below. Scopolamine. Y'all know what scopolamine is? Scopolamine. That's the zombie plant. That's the plant where you did the who's the last person called abusing people with that? It was the Asian ladies, and like we're in Puerto Rico, somewhere in Latin America, and they make you smell the dust from the flower, and it takes away your inhibitions. You're still alive, you're still awake, and you do anything that person tells you to do. Scopolamine, it grows from a plant, because this is why I'm a plant geek. I love stuff like this. What is that called? I forgot the name of the plant. But I got 8 of them. That's not the point. I find plants interesting. But if you smell the flower, the dust from it, it will make you highly suggested. In fact, people were scared of this plant in Latin America because you go to sleep under it and it's dropping the pollen. It makes you highly suggestible. But anyway, these ladies were using it to rob people. They'd make you smell the flower and take you to the ATM and say, hey, give me $500. And you would just withdraw all the money and give it to them. So with an alien land in Alexandria, Virginia, not too far from Washington, D.C., with the interest of taking over the most powerful nation on the planet with the most gaslit people the universe has ever seen, it's possible. I mean, if you want to be a king. But apparently, I'll let him tell you about it.
He posts to reach the Pentagon, and then furthermore, the White House itself, to be granted an audience with their then United States President Dwight D. Eisenhower. This is where the alien's dishonesty would shine and the clear statement of his intentions would come through. Valiant Thor made the incredible claim to the United States President that his mission was to come to the planet Earth and provide a means to not only grant free energy for all of the Earth's residents, but to usher in a new golden age that worked to solve all illnesses, deformities, crippling conditions, and so on, though never described an actual definition as to what he perceived as illness and crippling conditions. Though many supporters of Valiant Thor himself believe this to be a genuine want and proposition, here at Unexplained Mysteries, there appears to be overwhelming evidence for the contrary.
Hang on, pause. Is anyone who goes to the ape world to bring them health care, help them with their diseases, and bring them back to 98% monkey land and put them in zoos and show them how to use computers and try to lift them out? Yeah, we do that too. That's how I think about things. Like I said, if we do it, then they probably do it too. So would Valiant Thor come here to do that? I don't know. But someone wrote a book. What's the name of the book? Stranger at the Pentagon. And the way my mind works, like I said, all bets are off now. Now you got a UFO flying around on mainstream media and news. Now I think it's Space Force. I do. But some people think it's aliens. All I know is the government is lying. That's all I know. Whatever they said, don't believe that. That's all I know. So I don't know. I kind of want to play it. I don't want to play the rest of it. I mean, the way the rest of the story plays out is he wanted to bring us free energy and healthcare and stuff. And one of our great apes, Einstein or whoever, Eisenhower, said, no, we can't let the monkeys have all of that because then the monkeys will get lazy. You give them free energy, then they're not going to go to work. They're not going to pay their tax. He basically said what they said in the Brookings report. And this is from the book. I don't know if anyone's read the book. I'll post a video. You can watch the rest of it, but it's not what I want to talk about. My mind is like flipping. My mind is flipping all over the place this morning. And so apparently Eisenhower locked him somewhere in some building and just said, okay, you're not going to help our monkeys. It's going to make our monkeys lazy. We need them to work. We need them to dig ditches and build vehicles. But then people said they saw him walking around. I think that's him right there. That's what they say he looks like. He looks like just a regular person. Hang on, I got a picture. I got a clearer picture. I don't know. It's possible. I think people just send me this stuff because they want me to just flip out. There you go, right there. Valiant Thor, that he was in all kind of pictures, but they saw him walking around Washington, doing this, that, and whatever. And you know, to me, if aliens, well, I know aliens exist, but I do think if I was gonna come and take over Monkey Planet of the Apes, I'd probably want to look like a monkey. I'd probably go to a planet where the other aliens look like me. I think we're a laboratory, to be honest with you. I think we're just a laboratory. I think they harvest DNA, they grow things here. I think we might be a zoo, and they come and laugh at the stupid things that we do. So I think any of that's possible. The only thing I want to know is, how come the aliens got to come and free us with free energy and your government can't? Which one of the 2020s? Because they all it's election time. It's time to lose some friends. It's election time. I don't pick a side. I just look like that's stupid. Not interested. Nope, that's dumb. Nope. I'm still a slave. The only thing on my mind right now is ending slavery. I agree with Valiant Thor. And I think in the book they said something about he had some nefarious ideas too. I don't know nothing about that. I know your government do. I know everything they do is nefarious. I know they lie about everything. They want to keep everybody working. So I know they are the perfect God on earth, right? Because that's what we've legislated. We've legislated a God. They're all knowing. They got all the patents. They steal anything they want. They rob anybody they want. They blow up any country they want. And they got millions of idiots to go along with them and cheer for them and keep ignorant people keep voting for them. I know that sounds rough, but that's why I say I'm gonna lose friends, because it's coming up to the election and I don't pull any punches when you're murdering people and stealing from them. I don't pull any punches. If I see somebody getting murdered and raped and killed in the alleyway on the way home, I'm gonna get involved. I'm not gonna sit back and vote for which one of the criminals I think should throw the most punches and get the biggest bag and steal things from them. I don't care if it's left or right. I think that that's a bad idea. I think that making a whole planet that hates your country, I don't think that ends well. Not when you got nuclear weapons. Not when the other governments want to be as nefarious as the United States. Anyway, good morning. Oh, Christine said a vortex. It could have been. You're talking about Man From Taured. It could be a vortex. Christine, I used to watch this fantastic show. Came out of the UK. They make such delicious shows. I like watching British TV. American TV, not so much. There was this show where animals there were vortexes. What's the name of this show out the UK? Where there was a vortex and the animal would appear and it'd go away. There was a team of people chasing down and catching the animals, and mostly it was dinosaurs. Like they were all kind of vortexes, things that just appeared in different places and animals would come through. I forgot the name of the show. I used to watch that show. Could be a vortex. I don't know. Christine, we don't know anything. I think that theory is as valid as everybody else's. I have no idea. All right. Good morning, Meg. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Ivana. Maybe there's a portal that exists, some shorter and some longer. Could be, Mags. If there was a portal, the United States government ain't gonna tell us, the British government ain't gonna tell us, the Canadian government, hell, they ain't gonna tell us, because the Japanese government grabbed that man and jumped in jumped dimensions. You know, the kings have always hid things from us. The kings and lords, they always abuse and rape and steal our technologies, don't tell us a damn thing, Mags, right? So like if you were a blacksmith, you were in town making something, you made the first sword or crossbow or something. The king's guards walk by and they look at what the hell is Mags making? Oh, look at that. Look it. Now go ahead and shoot it. And it's like a crossbow or something. You shoot it across your laboratory. Like, all right, Mags, can you make about 80,000 of those? And we're gonna take over your lab here. You're gonna make those for the king from now on. And when you're done, we'll probably murder you and your family and steal the technology the same way the US Patent Office does. I don't think the kings and lords have changed. I think they're the same exact people they've always been in terms of the energy and consciousness. That's what I think. I think the only way we get out of this is consciousness. I think that if your world needs food, give them food. If they need tools, give them tools. If they need free energy, give them free energy. We don't need none of that. We got all of that. The only thing we don't have is consciousness, right? We can't seem to get away from this idea that we need lords and leaders and slave masters, and we just keep voting for them, cheering to put people over top of us that always want the best of the technology to go murder other people. Good morning, Adam. Vegan, he's on the Christian thing. Good morning. He don't play, does he? Early in the morning. When real Christians control government. No, vegan, we don't want real Christians control government. Number one, it's about 8 Christians in America, and I probably met 1 or 2 of them, and I wasn't one of them. Like ones who actually follow Christ and like want to be Christ-like and listening to the things that Christ said. There ain't none here. They barely, and it might be 32 in the rest of the world, but that's about it. And 2, government is where's Susan at? Low vibe idea. We don't need masters. No more masters, no more slaves. All right. There's too many secrets, vegan. We can't play that no more. We don't even know what's at the bottom of the damn ocean. Vegan, look. You realize, hang on. Look, get rid of Thor, Valiant Thor. If that's who he is, name probably Jonathan Rakes, born in Virginia. I don't know. I don't deny anybody's theories. At the bottom of the day, look at this right here, vegan. Vegan, let me show you something. This is why we don't need to worry about, because I know you on that Christian thing. We don't really need to worry. That's not the real threat. The real threat we have right now is us. Look at this. So apparently at the bottom of the ocean, where these rivers and lakes are, you can't even, the crab, see, this is like a crab. This is a bug that people like to eat. They call it crab, but it really is a bug. It's just a big bug, big aquatic bug. It's like a snot, it's like a spider. People hate spiders, but they love some crab and shrimp. That's all it is. And it was at the bottom of the ocean, and it probably tripped and fell playing with his other little crab friends. And he fell into one of the lakes under the ocean, and he died. Because apparently they're brine or certain, like a really high salinity content, and he just died because he didn't know. He wasn't all knowing. He had no idea that under the ocean, there are other lakes under the ocean that would murder him if he walked into it and skinny dipped. And I think he was trying to skinny dip in there and he died. Vegan, that's why we can't have any secrets. We cannot have any more. Oh, this is an even better picture. Look right here. This is another good example. I was not even prepared for this, and I forgot where this is. Somewhere in Latin America, right? Oh, well, no, this is never mind. This is fake. This is isn't this from the movie Lost or something? Isn't that like an airline? No, that's not an airplane seat. No. What do they call them? Cenotes. Because at the bottom, I wanted to show you this one on the upper right. At the bottom, this is a good example right here. See on the upper right, I can't click on the picture, it's not showing the picture. The cenotes, where there were like underground caverns in places like Guatemala and Belize, whatever. We got all these underground water river things, and you'd have a cenote and they throw all the gold, and sometimes they throw some Christians down in there and they throw the virgins in there supposedly. But at the bottom of the fresh water was salt water. And it's the same damn thing. Same damn thing. Dead people down there. You know what? When we don't know things vegan, we die. That's why I'm not into the identity conflicts, brother. I ain't got nothing against the Christians, the Muslims, the whites, the blacks, the Native Americans, the Mexicans, all of them, all the identities you choose. I think we need to stop playing monkey identity. That's all I think. I'm not against it. They're not the problem. The problem are the people who know, the people with knowledge and the power that always keep it from us. What the hell is going on with YouTube this morning? Hang on. What's going? Houston, we got a problem. Houston, oh my goodness, speaking of Houston, do we got a problem? I was in the 4th grade when the Challenger blew up. This is nothing. We don't know nothing, y'all. There's apparently a group that's saying that the people from the Challenger are still alive, and they actually identify each one of them and where they're at in the world. I don't know. All I know is I don't know. That's what I know. I know that I don't know. From the Egyptians to the Sumerians to the Assyrians, I know that they probably were a little more truthful with their people than what we got. Hold on, what was I doing? I just got discombobulated. Oh yeah, YouTube. What's going on with YouTube? Are they up this morning? Oh yeah, there's 5 people over there. I don't see it. Did y'all not comment yet this morning? That's probably what happened. They get a little shy sometimes. Because I don't have that big of an audience on YouTube. So they get a little shy. All right, but no, it's on. It's supposed to be good. Anyway. Let me see. Having a real party at the Dome. What Dome? What are we talking about, Jimmy? Having a real party at the Dome with 23,000 of our friends and relatives and all who wish to organize to win with our revolution. Washington. Oh, Bernie Crash Coalition. Progressive for our revolution. Hashtag still Sanders. Jimmy, don't start with me. Jimmy, don't mess with my emotions, man. You know me well enough by now. You know what I'm going to say, don't you, Jimmy? You know what I'm gonna say. Listen, I'm okay with everybody's ideas. PJ, you know what? If you want to help, get involved and do what you're supposed to do. Do what you think is right. My mind's telling me something. Who was that? Who sings that song? My mind's telling me I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. See, the problem I have with Bernie is he bumping and grinding with the he's just like Trump and Obama and all the rest. I'm sorry, Jimmy, I can't agree with you. I don't agree with any of the cults. I think these guys have too many cult followings and they're all bumping and grinding with the industries, keeping the lies, poisoning the water, the food, the oxygen, starting the wars, trafficking the weapons. I can't get down with any of them. The problem with America is not the booty cheek in the chair. It's not the 98% monkey in the chair. It's the chair. The problem is the office. We were bought in 1871, Jimmy. You can go to that dome. Y'all can love, fellowship, kumbaya. And I'm not against it. Like I said, I think if you feel it's gonna help, I think y'all should go do that. I talked to Brother Sean about Bernie not too long ago. We did a video. And what do I think that would get my interest in Bernie? Well, that's a lot. Let me see. If Bernie got a UFO, Space Force, a military, something that could actually take on the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, the ones who actually bought America in 1871, 1913, 1930, that might interest me. I think the other thing that might pique my ears a little bit, Jimmy, and I'm gonna go out on a ledge here. It would pique my ears if one of y'all's cults, groups, decided that you were gonna do a direct democracy. I think that might catch my attention a little bit. I don't know that I'd watch anything yet, because I'd be like Scooby. Because Scooby, when he thought that you were starting to get on something, I might do that. You might get an ear, because I believe in direct democracy. I don't believe in Burnocracy. I don't believe in Trumpocracy. I don't believe in Obamacracy. I damn sure don't believe in Rothschild-chocracy. They all own. Our government is owned. These people are all janitors. But if you actually have one of the janitors that's gonna get the mop and like break the mop and sharpen it and just begin to fight his way through the mail room and upstairs and get one of the executives, then I might go for it. But I'm not interested. I don't need anybody to rule me. I don't need any masters. I'm not a slave. I don't need a master. I'm not a follower. I don't need a leader. You know, I can vote for myself. If you actually get one of these guys yelling and screaming, or women yelling and screaming about direct democracy, we need to give America back to the people, and we're actually gonna count the votes, we're gonna open source the elections. I can't believe y'all got me talking about elections. But if you actually could convince me that we're gonna let people dictate their future, not banks and corporations and pharmaceutical industries and unknown families that buy governments, if you can convince me somehow that that's their intent, and Bernie, I don't know, then he have to probably sign an agreement that says day one, my first executive order is no more representative government. or I don't know, go to the bottom of the ocean, stay there to the end of his term or something. If he would sign an agreement like that, I'd do that. But I don't think Bernie can represent me. I tried to give Trump a chance. He didn't represent me too good. I tried to give Obama. He didn't represent me at all. And I don't think Bernie's going to either. I think the problem is the office. That's what I think, at the root. But if you feel that's what you're supposed to do, then you should do that. Everybody should follow their own thing. My thing is this: as long as you know that the world is broke and we can't continue on this way, not knowing it's a damn lake at the bottom of the ocean, then I'm good with you. That's it. I might make some jokes. I might make some jokes because I don't believe in follow the leader, Jim. I don't believe it, brother. But everybody should do what they feel is right in their heart of hearts. And in my heart of hearts, I think murdering children is a bad idea. And I think anybody who got paid for that, I can't run with. I know. Who's that upset? Is that Jimmy? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I got the angry face. We need the angry faces. That's exactly what that's how we know we're saying something that's important. I don't believe in murder. And I like what Bernie was saying, like I said originally. I did. But when they posted that video and showed all the times he voted for war and all the money he got, the lobbyist money and Raytheon and putting them airports and the bases and where's he? He's up there with Claudia and them. And Vermont. Once I realized that, oh no, he's a little too much bumping and grinding on that. I'm not sure. There's too many feet in that bed, Jimmy. I don't know who feeding that. The pharmaceutical and the Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. That's my heart of hearts, right? My heart of hearts is do no harm. That's it. My heart of hearts is do no harm. And like Crystal just said, Christ Henderson just said the lesser evil. I don't believe in the lesser evil. I just believe in evil. And I think killing kids and stealing from their parents because they live around oil, I think that's evil. And the Democrats and Republicans do it. That's why I don't have a team. I don't do cult. I don't do that no more. I at this point in time in my life, Jim, I can't be affiliated with that. I mean, it's bad enough I got a bank account. It's bad enough I live in America. It's bad enough I love the people in my land and I love the people around the planet. And I don't think killing anybody's a solution. And you know, if you can get burned, say direct democracy and free energy, and get him to look at that damn UFO that's up there, you might have something too, y'all. Because y'all know me. You get me on the free energy. I free the human race. That every conflict is about gravity. We are slaves to gravity. So you get him to, and I put that on Brother Sean. I said, Sean, listen, get Bernie talking about direct democracy. I ain't heard him say nothing about it. My next stipulation is the UFO. I need Bernie to see the UFO. I need him. The Navy sees it. I need him to see it. And I need him not to get into the debate. It's aliens in Space Force. I need him to say, that's free energy. We don't know who that is, what that is. It was the Russian, the Chinese, the Pentagon, the Rothschild. But some alien, somebody got free energy. As long as somebody got free energy flying around Earth like this and all the governments have finally released it, then the human beings ain't gonna be free till that's free. I'm gonna be with Valiant Val Thor. And I'm gonna say we need to find out who that is. We need to take all the drones, the rockets, the bombs, all the penis-shaped things that they blow people up with, the phallus. This is why it's so silly being living in a patriarchal world. Get those things and go find out who's flying that free energy craft. Get all the radar stations around the world. Put all of our resources into freeing our citizens instead of blowing up other nations and stealing what they got, because that's not working out. That's all. That's all. I think that's my only stipulations. Got to eat the socialists. No vegan socialists. They don't eat organic neither. Neither do the capitalists or the communists. I don't want to eat nobody. They don't. They shop at your local grocery store. Would you believe I was at the local grocery store last night and that damn Terminator robot stopped again on a bag? I posted the picture because I believe I'm telling on people. I'm telling on the robot. You know, AI is a bad, if they can't even program the AI in the grocery store to not stop when somebody just drops a little penny or something on the ground, a plastic bag. Do you know what that thing is going to do to me? If it won't even follow the instructions to keep the ground clean, and y'all want to like give it a laser gun, give it access to Skynet and bombs and drones in the Pentagon, we all going to die. We all, and Bernie ain't talking about that. Bernie's trying to get Raytheon more power. Neither is Trump. No, he's not. So it's not a Bernie Trump thing. It's not Obama too. All of them. Ain't no one saying. None of them are saying free the human race. Right? None of them are saying with Valiant Val. Let me get Valiant Val Thor back up here. That's who this is. Hang on. Wait. And you know, and Eisenhower had a good point though. He had a good point because he said, so if we free the human, we let Valiant Thor free the human. I got to read this book. I got to read the book. If we let Valiant Thor give us alien technology for healthcare, free energy, and all this stuff, that the human beings would become a slave species, that we would become dependent on the alien technology. And I like to think through things. And I think that's a valid point. I do. I'm not sure I agree that it's still a bad idea. Well, if we, okay, let's think about it in terms of Americans. That's where my mind goes. I think about terms of Americans. Are we dependent on the technology that the government always hides from us with patents and slowly releases to us? Yes, we are. Yeah, you know what? I thought through it. Never mind. Eisenhower's right. But the good thing is we got Tesla. Tesla and the Germans, they were already doing levitation. They were already on it, right? They hid that from us. So that's free energy is good. Now the rest of the alien stuff, yeah, we don't want that. We don't need the vaccines to fight the bugs on Melmac 7 because we ain't on the Melmac 7. All we need is a government that's honest. That's all we need. If the aliens out there, if y'all out there, if y'all sent me that dream last night, because I had a dream. Oh man, all this started from a damn dream I had. Like, it was vivid too. I got to talk to my dream people later today. I got some people who they study dreams and stuff. They sent me that dream last night. That's all we need. We just need freedom. That's all the human race needs. And that's human technology. That's not alien technology. Now, I think Bob Lazar was probably right, and we probably got to jump a little help. Maybe the Germans got a little help. But sometimes you need a little help and hand up. You don't need to like make Americans where they're dependent on their government for infrastructure and food and salad and sugar and water and everything else, where they do anything that the government tells them to. They'll become colonizers. A happy colonizer. Americans can't see it. They cannot see it. They cannot see it. Because yeah, when you take alien Pentagon, whatever technology, and people need that to get up in the morning. They need that Xanax and Prozac just to go to work. Then yeah, you'll do anything that government tells you to do. So yeah, I agree with Eisenhower. I agree with him on that point. But this is already human technology. So to wrap that kind of back around the circle, yeah, if you get me a 2020 that's saying we need to free the human race, that's the most important thing, and start acting like a government, start talking like a government, not talking like a colonizer, then okay, I'm good with it. But we don't have anybody doing that. You know, that's why I don't believe in leaders anymore. I think there's something about leadership that breaks people. I think when someone gives you power over someone else, it's like always inevitable that you become corrupt and abuse that person. So yeah, I don't really believe in that stuff no more. I like important things. I like it, but like I said, the whole world's open up now. Now we go back and listen to all the whistleblowers, all the time travelers, all the Photoshop pictures of people with cell phones in the 1920s. Go back to look at all of it because we don't know what's true anymore. That's all I'm saying. And so that's the other thing. So we talk about colonization, and Americans go along with it, seeing how we're on this. I don't think this is this is like an anti. I don't believe in politics anymore. I don't believe in robbing Peter to pay Paul. I like both Peter and Paul, they're my cousins. I don't think I need to rob either one of them, not when you got free energy. And so that's the other part of it, is that everything that they're promising is blood. It's blood healthcare, blood money, it's blood walls, is blood freedoms, blood, all of it's blood. All of it comes from blood minerals. All of it comes from murdering other people and stealing from them and printing money from the Federal Reserve and making our great grandkids pay for it. I think that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a good idea to steal your great grandbaby's lollipop. So she has to go to work in the morning. She ain't even born yet. She ain't even a thought. She ain't even sperm or egg yet. We already spending that baby money. I don't think that's a good idea. We're busted. We're broke. We ain't got any money and we're slaves. And you ain't got nobody in office talking about that. They talk about all this nonsense on CNN and MSNBC and Fox and all the other acronyms of pro-war organizations. Shoot, you know what I was looking at this weekend too? What's this guy's name? Lollipop? Big Poppy Lolly. What is the guy's name that began all the YouTube apocalypse where now nobody can monetize their channel? Tiddly Pop? What's his name? Because this happened years ago apparently. Tiddlywinker or something. The guy that the New York Times went after, pro-war organization. No, it wasn't New York Times. It was Wall Street Journal. Y'all know who I'm. Coochie Pie. What's his name? I know y'all know his name. Pootie Pie. That guy. So I was looking at that. And apparently the guy was making a joke, right? He was making a joke and trying to get people to do things, right? And it was comedy. And one of his jokes was to carry a sign that says "kill all Jews" or something, which is a horrible thing. Which is why I think he did it, because I don't think anybody in their right damn mind or could read the English would do that. And so he would, I guess, pose a challenge to people. And this is what all this was about. And I guess he had people who couldn't read English and they didn't know what it meant because they weren't from America who made the sign. And it was just like, okay, so the Wall Street Journal went after him, did a hit piece on him, and they pulled the advertising from YouTube. Now everybody gets demonetized because of his ignorance, because somebody can't realize a joke and it was a joke that went wrong. It was a joke that went bad. In fact, the Wall Street Journal could have used that. His name Polly Pie? Booty Pie. That's his name, Gucci Pie. I thought his name was Coochie Pie. I'm sorry. And so they used that as a hit piece. They could have took the situation and said, yeah, now we can have a conversation about what's a good joke, what's not a good joke. We got to be careful, blah, 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 blah. That people still alive, da, 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 da. And it could have been a positive thing. But no, not pro-war Wall Street Journal, which is why I ain't never read them in my life. Why? Because they're behind every NATO war, they're behind genocide, colonization, and every single current Holocaust. So first of all, I ain't got too interest in what they have to say about any other Holocaust. If you are currently being supported by the current Holocaust, you are currently cheering the genocide of children in Yemen and all the Holocausts that are happening right now all over Latin America, the Native American women in Canada and all over. I'm not interested in what you got to say about anything on that. But it's just, I'm not sure why we got to coot about. Oh Lord, they trying to get me now to talk about Booty Gig. I don't even know who Booty Gig is. Oh Lord. I don't even know who he is. I know that, I don't know, yeah, I do. I know something. What do I know about Booty Gig? I know that he's in the Democratic Party and he came out of nowhere. That's what I know. I looked into it a little bit. I spent 2 seconds with it. That's as much time I got for politics. That's as much time as I got. It's a game called Use People's Identity to rob other people and make them feel good about it. Booty Gig. I think he's gay. He is gay. He's LGBTQ something. And he came out of nowhere. Nobody knows who the guy is. He's a Democrat. He's the second one running. I got Democrat friends all over my feed, right? And I'm not talking to Jimmy, I'm just talking to General. I'm talking to Lori, I think. I got Democrats all over my feed. They're like, yeah, yelling Bernie, and they're yelling, who's the other ones? Bernie and Williamson and Trump, and no, he's not. He's used to be he's a Democrat something, independent Trump thing. But they're yelling on Michelle Obama and Oprah, but I've never seen any Booty Gig nothing. I ain't never heard of the name. They ain't never posted. They ain't never cheered it. So how is he number 2? Explain that to me. That's how I know American politics is fixed. Booty Gig came out of nowhere. Did I say it right? No, it's Booty Judge. Don't do that to me. Lori, stop it. Isn't it Booty Judge? Booty Judge. Anyway, came out of nowhere. That doesn't just happen. I don't believe in coincidence. Not in a nation that owns the damn planet and is owned by Rothschilds and Rockefellers being slapped around like it's somebody sitting young little stepsister. Came out of nowhere. You think that's a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidence. That dude is a Manchurian candidate. Somebody had that dude somewhere with some MK Ultra, some drugs, some LSD, and microwave frequency 5G or something, and made him into what he is. That's why he came out of nowhere. I never heard the name Booty Gig, Booty Judge. I ain't never heard of that. So yeah, there's no such thing as politics anymore. We got to stop this whole, let's be okay with the colonization of the planet, take the money that they print that the great-great-granddaughter's gonna have to pay for and give me something shiny. We need to stop it. That's just me. Did I say it right? Is it Booty Teague? Patricia said it's Booty Teague. I don't know. Just like Obama. Yeah, Jonathan, I think they all are. I think some people mean well, but you put them, once they get into office, somebody sit them down. Somebody said, which is why I want to read the book, Stranger to Pentagon. I do want to read the book because, and by read the book, I mean listen to the audio book on YouTube. Because I don't have time. I read all kinds of books on YouTube. I don't have time. I can do other things while I listen because somebody's always in control and it's never us. And somebody's always calling the shots and it's never us. They always think it's the government. It ain't the government. They think it's the 16 families or 13 or 200, whatever thing. I don't even think it's them. I think that if we got Asian ladies on the street that want to rob you and make you take everything out your apartment, put it in their truck by getting you to smell scopolamine, then yeah, you probably got some aliens that I don't know, maybe the LGBTQ in the alien world. They don't feel happy. They're not well adjusted because there's a lot of prejudice on that alien planet. And they decide, I'm gonna go to Earth. You know why? Because I can control them. We do it all the time. We go to other countries, control people because we got better technology. The American government does that. Forget the Asian ladies and scopolamine. We take our technology, control them. So there's a lot of planets out there in that damn sky. Would we come here with an alien that's not happy at their home world come here to control the monkeys? I think that explains every religion. I think it explains every religion. I think that's probably what the Egyptians talk about, the Sumerians, the King's List, where we know that the first kings were not the humans that we seem to know. They lived 1,000 years and beyond. All right, anyway. Whew, but we don't know anything. You're not gonna get me to vote for somebody and cheer a system, not even a person. Because at this point, you're not really voting for a person, you're just voting for a system. You're not gonna get me to cheer a system that robs other people and brings shiny stuff home to me. That's a bad idea. That's somebody you call the police on. That's not somebody you vote for. If your parents are robbing other people and bringing TVs home, you need to tell somebody. I don't think that's a good idea. I think karma is real. And I think long term, if we continue down this ignorant path, we all gonna die. I don't think it ends well if we continue to hand all the world's GDP, all of our secrecy, our patents, our inventions, everything to a very few group of Lex Luthors. I think we all gonna die. We play that game. Elections are conspiracy reality. They are, Lori, and to me they're low vibe. In narcissistic and sociopathic and any other new words that I can't explain that well, Lori, because why do I want to get more people on my side to force other people to do something that they don't want to do? Like it's gone too far. The Republicans or the Democrats or whatever the parties are in your country. Why do I want to get together a mob on my side instead of getting, forks and pitchforks and fires and all of that stuff? Why do I want to get more people on my side and go to levers and force other people to do what I want them to do? That's the essence of narcissism. That's the essence. They've literally made everybody narcissistic in that way. And mental illness is a real thing. And it's proud now. They're proud to be mentally ill. We're gonna get those Republicans, make them like us, because we're right. We're correct, they're wrong. And I'm just like, man, I can't believe that used to be me. They all had me. I should have been in I should have totally been in a straight jacket in a padded room. I was proud of it too. Nah, not no more. I ain't grew up now. Vermont has a couple nice bases funded by the military complex. Yes, Chris, because bases are what you need to murder people and steal what they got. And Bernie's big time on that. Still in your hands and do nothing is no longer, and I'll sit on my hands and do nothing is no longer an option. Our revolution, Jimmy, literally, to me, sitting on your hands is voting. And not voting. I think voting and not voting are the same thing, Jimmy. I don't think they really care what you do. I think the only thing they care about is what they ban. You know, the only thing they care about is what they try to censor, right? So I don't think they care if you vote or you don't vote. They just don't want you saying honest things about the vote. That's the only thing that they ban. You know, the only thing, the most important things to do is what they block on social media. That's what the most important thing to do and say is. And unfortunately, voting is not it. They don't block that. They encourage that. Every single big media station, all the pro-war newspapers and organizations and corporations and governments, they all say go vote. That's the one thing they agree on. So I'm gonna do the exact. So revolution by definition, brother Jimbo, Malicious, is to do exactly the opposite, to revolt against what they want you to do. So I think is you don't vote just because they want you to, but you got to be arrogant with it. You have to be, oh, this is why I ain't messing with it. I like direct democracy. We're going to talk a lot more about direct democracy in the coming days. I like direct democracy. I think it's a good idea for you to make your own decisions. I don't want to make any decisions for you. But direct democracy with sovereignty, with like a solid, hardcore Bill of Rights that's unshakable. It is your right. Nobody can abuse you to do whatever. Own land, grow your own food, do what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. Nobody can. If it's peaceful, it's your business. You can grow whatever the hell you want, when you want, how you want, and stir it up and do anything you want with it and put it in your body. If you're sovereign. Governments aren't sovereign. Systems aren't sovereign. And no law is sovereign because you get more people in a mob because you scare them on television to get them to vote against somebody else. Right, so that's why I like direct democracy with a hardcore, and it's in a direct democracy from we need to start deleting the laws perspective, because if you get direct democracy, I think the very next step in America anyway, is you get rid of the mainstream media organizations. You break all them up like a bag of bricks, like a bag of glass china. Break them up like the Chinese dishes they found all over Latin America, proving that the treasure junks were all over the planet. The China sailed to the ocean blue to Latin America before anybody else. Maybe the Vikings. Break it all up. Why? So people can have their own minds back. They can have their intellects back. They're not driven astray and crazy by this media that makes them think they got to get out there and stop somebody else. The real demon is the one behind all of that. All right, it's never been about common sense. It's always about making money. Jeff, oh man, you ain't said nothing but the truth, brother. You ain't saying nothing but the truth. It ain't never been about race. It ain't never been about identities. It ain't never been about religion. It's never been about any of those things. Those are the things that they use to get people who don't understand to get up swords and spears and guns and chains and go rob somebody else. But it's always, the people at the top, it's always about money. That's it. And I'm only interested in taking down the system, building something that's humane. And you're never going to do that unless you get how the game is played. Until you take that red pill, not the blue one. Take the red pill and take it on the chin and understand it's always about money. You got to take that out the system. You got to get rid of it. You get rid of it, then people can slowly start to get their freedom back, their intellects back. You keep capital in the system, you're going to keep people scared of each other and joining up to go rob each other and violently vote. Voting is violence, and I'm not into violence. Brother Don, good morning. Vegan, good. What you got? To be critical, not complain. Yeah, be critical, don't complain. I don't have much to complain about, vegan. I got American privilege and everything I have was robbed and stolen from the meekest, poorest women and old people and children on the planet with no military to protect themselves. Everything I got is from them. And I feel like I owe them, vegan. I feel like I owe them. I feel like I owe them not to complain about all the wealth that I have in this nation, the cushy lifestyle I've been given by the heavy price that they paid. And a lot of them paid the maximum price for these Democrats and Republicans that can't get a clue because they're cowards, don't know how to stand up to the system. Not the people, but the people at the top. I don't like to talk because most of the people who vote, they're good people. They're just indoctrinated. They're scared. They still have that. They still watch television. And I kind of think they brainwash people. I really do. I think that they somehow have a signal in that digital thing to just make you just as nasty and arrogant and callous and apathetic as possible, because people I've known my whole life are still on this, and I don't understand. People I used to respect, so intellectual, and they can't seem to figure it out. I think that they're poisoning people with these boob tubes. I really do. There's something in that message. The robots are replacing people in the workforce because they follow orders and don't talk back. Exactly, they don't back talk, Chris. That's right. They're the perfect slaves. That's why we suck as slaves, and they know that. We get sick, we have problems, we have affairs in the office, we take long lunches. The robots are going to do that. And guess what? Which one of the Democrats or Republicans trying to save you from the robots? None of them. They can't. They don't have the power. We were a corporatocracy 20 years ago, and now we're a full-blown oligarchy. If it makes profit, they're going to do it. And the most profitable thing is to take all of these people and get them out the jobs, get the software and robots doing it, and what happens to the people? That's the real question. And nobody's got an answer for that. That's how I know that they don't really care. They didn't even make an answer. They didn't even try to answer that test. They didn't even want to worry about it, Chris. They're like, you know what? The Democrats are probably, we ain't got no answer for the people. What's the long-term effect of us taking all this lobbyist money for war and colonization and poisoning the people and inject them with stuff? What's the long-term goal for the people? Well, let's not answer that question just yet. The press conference. Next question. Wait a minute, I'm a people. I'm supposed to answer the question because I want to know what's going to happen to my kids. What's going to happen to my grandkids? I kind of love them a little more than I love myself. I'm going to look out for them more. I'm going to look out for them. So we need to know what y'all going to do with our kids when y'all kick us out of all the jobs and we can't make any money. Well, we're not ready to answer that question yet. Just you need to get to the election and vote. I can tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to look at history. I'm not even thinking about it. Look at history. That's what's going to happen. What happens to the people who can't feed themselves? What happens to the people who can't buy houses and can't afford the fresh water that's going to be sold in bottles at probably $200 an ounce? What happens to those people? But the same thing we're doing right now. You throw them in the prison system. That's why we got this big, massive police state prison system and 5G being rolled out. Anyway, the automation's coming. And with the automation, you're not going to stop it. You're not going to slow it down. You're not going to do any of that. The only thing you can do is determine, is it going to help people or is it going to control people? Those are the only options. And right now, if you're still out there voting, you are voting for it to control people. That's all you're voting for, because that's all they're doing. All your politicians are doing are getting a retirement. That's all they're getting from it. Same as you. That's why I don't judge them. They're getting a retirement like you. They're just not forward thinkers thinking down the road about where all this is going. All right, there we go. We should vote for him. We should not vote for him, vegan. I don't think we should vote for anybody. Just like Obama, yeah, Jonathan, Obama's the same, and Trump, yep, Lori, they're all the same. See, this is what happens when you have friends who can like connect dots together. That's why I like this throwing dot stuff. I have the friends I have because they're dot throwers. I have to connect them. They don't really connect them for me, but just throw the dots. And like we're 4 years old, just start connecting the dots and it'll start to make a picture and the picture start looking like you and you don't have a smiley face and it's a robot standing over your body. And it has like your tongue and your heart in its hand. Yeah, and the Democrats and Republicans are right behind them. And then there's a robot behind the Democrats and the Republicans. They thought they were going to get away with this. Like, no, the lords and kings only want you to get rid of the masses. And after they get rid of the masses, they're going to get rid of you. Connect the dots. That's all we should be doing right now. Go back, find your conspiracy theorists and your whistleblowers and from everything, from the chemical companies to the aliens to the free energy to what's in the ocean to all of them. Then just start listening to them and try to see what makes some damn sense. Start connecting the dots. And when I connect the dots, I'm like, y'all, it's all real. It's all real. I think it's all real. I think there's a degree of truth to all of it. All of it. And they don't want me to know. Only regime change to favor, only regime change to favor is right here. Only regime change, okay. Matthew, I'm not sure where we're going on that one, but I will say that regime change is how they make money. That's how they put biscuits on the table, and I don't want them biscuits. Those are bloody biscuits. I don't want none of that. Who was that? Why is a movie coming to my mind, Matthew, where somebody had blood in the oatmeal? Oh, a Golden Child, where they tried to feed Eddie Murphy because he was trying to defend the children. I kind of feel like I'm Eddie Murphy right now. I nowhere near as funny. and damn sure not as good looking. But I like that idea. They tried to give them, because they tried to corrupt them. They gave them the blood inside the oatmeal. Have y'all seen that movie? That's what I feel like with voting and all politics. It looked like some delicious oatmeal. It's always got a little organic label on the side of it, but you know it's blood in there. It's always blood. I know it looked like universal basic income, looked like universal health care. It looks like all these nice things, walls and freedom. It looks like he's fighting the deep state. He ain't fighting no deep state, y'all. That's blood. Every time I done put my spoon in that oatmeal, you know, some okra and blood in there. Oh no, no. It's easy to live 1,000 years. All you need is a different calendar. That's true, Conan. That's true. But I think where they're going with that, because I think you're talking about the Egyptian kings, the Sumerian kings, the kings list that showed they've been here for 1,000 years. I don't think it's the calendar. I just think they had functioning telomerase enzymes. That's all. I like to use science and put, like back then when they said the kings could live to be 1,000 years, they were probably like, no, that don't make no damn sense. You know, there's no way the Egyptians were here for 36,000 years. Those are fake kings. I just think that they were either aliens or us, however you want to put it. But I just think the telomerase enzyme worked because they've documented that in multiple cultures now where people have lived that long. And now we know scientifically that our bodies weren't designed to die at 120 years, that we've had some changes to us. Or we're not eating what we used to, but our telomerase enzyme goes inactive. That's why I post these things all the time, Conan, because I want to try to, I just throw dots. Like, y'all look at the dots, a whole bunch of dots, look at all the pretty dots. Just start connecting them together. The ancients lied a lot less than what we think they did. They, for the most part, documented history, but our current level of science at that time told us that, oh, y'all lying. There's no way y'all lived that long because we better than y'all. Y'all done came from grass skirts and you monkeys and beating cages and cannibals. Nah, ain't no way. We smart, we better than y'all. You know, so we thought the Egyptians were lying. Come to find out, the geology says that the Sphinx was at least 12,000 years old. So there's no way it was built 4,000 years ago. And the King's List is right. I think it's right. I just throw dots out there. And when science starts agreeing with the ancients, I agree more with them. All right, debate is not even a thing anymore. People get killed over it nowadays. Sad. It is sad, Jamie. And it's not a thing. I agree with you. I love how your mind thinks. Why? Because it's another narcissistic, sociopathic thing, Jamie. I don't know if you were here, we were talking about it not too long ago. It's like this whole idea of debating. Once again, it's like voting. I'm right, you're wrong. And I go into a debate. Jamie, I don't debate nobody. I don't debate anybody anymore. We need to have a debate about this. I'm not going to debate you. Why? I debate you. Like, because to me, it's a narcissistic thing. It's a thing of, I'm right. And I'm going to get into this thing and I'm going to throw some information out at you till you agree that I'm right. I don't care what people think. I'm a grown adult. I don't really care if you're right or wrong. Like, I'll have discourse. I'll give you my information. You give me yours. Let's have a talk. You know, see what happens after it's all over. Let's get a glass of wine, beer, go get some coffee, and it's done. But like this idea that I'm going to go into this engagement and force you to think like me, I think that's stupid. I think everybody's got their own experiences, their own information, their own data. They've pieced it together, and if they can't figure it out, I'm fine with that. I'll talk about the aliens and the UFOs and free energy and feed the world, build houses for everybody, and people want to disagree with that. I'm fine with that. I don't really care. We all gonna die. We're all gonna die together, you know. But I'm just here to do my little part. But like forcing other people to think like me, that's not my part. That's up to narcissists and sociopaths. I don't want to force anybody to think like me. If I did, we had a planet full of me, that'd be a really dumb planet. We're not anywhere I'd want to live. I wouldn't want to live there. I love spice. I love people. I love difference. I think our diversity is the most interesting. And no, that's not a plug for that liberal identity stuff. Nope, I don't think 200 identities is interesting. I want 7 billion different monkey identities. I want crazy, I want cray-cray, I want funny and stupid and ignorant. I even want the hate speech. I want all of it. I think that's just us. It's us and it's where we are in our current evolution. And if we actually can look at it for what it is like adults, instead of banning hate speech and banning the stuff we don't like and forcing other people we don't like to think like us because we think we're right, we have to cut this monkey stuff out. Yeah, I agree with you, James. We got to cut it out. We got to stop being these little narcissistic bastards and start accepting the world as the way it is, that people become what they become because of their environment. If we don't like how people are, we don't need to debate them and force them to think like us. We need to change the environments that they were reared in. And usually that comes from free energy and houses and food, and not sending police to go get them because they're selling water on the damn sidewalk. Or they're having a barbecue by the lake. They didn't read the sign that said, black people can't barbecue by this lake. Y'all got another lake. I love that lady. I did not want her silence at all. I forgot her name. What was her name? I love her that she was being authentic. She was being her, and she did what was right and important. Hell yes. I see some black people with barbecue and grill and coal, and it's a lake over there, and they're not supposed to do that. And she called, she told, she did what she was supposed to do. So now we as a world can make some good decisions based on that very real information. It would have been highly dangerous if that woman did not follow her unique self and call the police. We wouldn't know we had something to change. Now we know we got something to change. That's what I'm saying. There's no hate speech. There's no such thing as it. It's a good thing. If you think it's a good thing to do, you need to do it. And when you do it, we need to have a free media that promotes it and talks about it so we all can get together and make some decisions on what parts of the environment we need to change and stop making people that want to call the police because of somebody walking around with a Dixie sign or somebody barbecuing by a lake. Ain't nothing wrong with these things. It's important. Well, why you still love the Dixie sign? Go talk to them. Don't be ignorant about it. We need to grow up, y'all. It's just the human condition. We are conditioned. That's why it's called the human condition. We're all conditioned. You need to have more interest and more issue with the conditioner than the people. The conditioner, the hair shampoo, because it's all chemicals anyway. It causes cancer. Literally, and that's a great analogy. It causes cancer. All right, what we got? Refugees, free worsening Syria-Turkey conflict. Well, you know, the refugees are always fleeing something because we're not sending food, we're sending bombs. On contact. Fierce loving resistance with Lisa Fithian. Fierce loving resistance. That sounds interesting. Can we take a peek at that real quick? I love me some Chris Hedges. I don't always agree, but I love the brother. I think he's a journey bro, too.
Welcome to On Contact. Today we discuss the mechanics of resistance with the activist and author, Lisa Fithian.
And one of the things I'm trying to spread as I go around talking with this book and I organize in different sectors of our movement, I recognize there's a lot of fear around that. There's fear of crisis, there's fear of chaos or organized chaos. But if we're not willing to create the kind of disruption that will force the power holders to make different choices, we're going to continue to be dealing with a lot of pain.
We're going to go extinct.
We're going to go, thank you, we're going to go extinct.
There are few activists and organizers with the wealth of experience of Lisa Fithian. She has organized actions that have shut down the CIA, disrupted the World Trade Organization's first major meeting during the Battle of Seattle, and helped launch Common Ground Relief, a grassroots organization that supported communities in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. She was part of the protest encampment organized by Cindy Sheehan, the anti-war activist who lost her son in Iraq. She was in Tahrir Square and on board the U.S. women's boats to Gaza. She was an important presence at Occupy Wall Street and Standing Rock, marched in the streets of Ferguson, and has organized anti-racist training and helped lead climate justice protests for Extinction Rebellion. Joining me in the studio to discuss effective forms of resistance and her new book, Shut It Down, Stories from a Fierce, Loving Resistance, is Lisa Fithian. Okay, we're gonna do nuts. We only got a half hour. You've got great stories in here, but they're gonna have to buy the book for this. Let's just start. A lifelong organizer and devoted rabble-rouser, I tend to avoid electoral organizing, having seen firsthand that lasting changes and shifts in power are so often brokered in the streets. Talk about it, because so many people place their faith especially 4 years in the election cycle, which I don't think historically ever plays out.
Right. Well, you know, it's interesting because when I was younger, people were like, you're going to be the first woman president of the United States. And I was just like, I don't know. Because I was president of my student government in high school, college, did some legislative organizing around the U.S. war in Central America. But I really began to see that the power there was not actually really solving the problems. We might mitigate damage, we might get a little reform here and there. But when I started getting involved in the U.S. war, ending the U.S. war in Central America, and I learned about civil disobedience and protest in the streets, I began to understand that our power was really in the streets. And if we create the popular mandate, the politicians will have to follow. So in terms of elections, I was doing a training once where people were sort of...
Before we get into elections, right? I want to make sure we don't get off on the wrong foot here. Once again, if people know that today cannot continue, that's somebody who gets it. Now, the solution you may disagree with, but as long as they're in a foxhole and they're shooting in the same general direction, they might have a different target, but that's an ally. That's somebody that you don't attack. You always agree with people that state today cannot last. Today is not sustainable. So I've already loved the things that I hear. I love shut it down. I love shut it down. Now, I know somebody already posted it, that he's Green Party. I know, you get to tweaking you, but knowing that that's a change. Right? Like just agree with the fact that is a decision which is outside of the current paradigm. Right? Getting a new party in. Now, me personally, I was Green Party. And I understood after a while that the Rothschild didn't really care. They didn't really care. If they print the currency, they don't care who writes the laws, right? So now she's gonna talk about the solution. The other thing I agree with is in the streets. I agree within the streets, but I ain't in no damn streets. I said it a few times. Because I'm gonna get in the street when people focus on the root problem. Right? When they stop focusing on the political party and the butts in the chairs and the white people and the police and all that, and they really do root cause analysis, that's when I'll be in the streets. Shut it down. Because other than that, it's pointless to shut it down. Like this word revolution, we talked about this before. If you want to do a revolution because you want to change things at the root level, you want to change the actual root problems that cause this, then I'm with you. But if most people want to get in a revolution because they don't like something at the time, then once they're done with that violent revolution, all they're gonna do is deploy something else that somebody else doesn't like. All it's gonna do is switch hands. And then in another 100, 200 years, here we are gonna be in the same position if we don't go extinct by then to try to fix that. All of our solutions are peaceful. All of our solutions are walk away. All of our solutions are shut it down. All of our solutions is leave everybody else the hell alone. All of our solutions are live and let live. So I already love it. They said she should be the first American president. I don't think America really exists. I think it's a fantasy. I don't think presidents and leaders and I don't think none of that exists. All we need is a facilitator of resources. Food A goes to people B because people B don't have enough food. That's it. Houses need to get built in the community C because there aren't enough houses. Send the robots, send the automation, make it happen. What people do with their own lives is their own damn business, right? It is your benefit. It's our benefit that you were born on this planet. And it is our requirement to make sure that you have the things that you need, like any slug, bee, cockroach, bacteria, and booger. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Being disrespectful to the electoral process. And a woman said to me, my family died for the right to vote. And it really just like hit me. And I realized that, people did give their life for the right to vote. And it's important. But
hang on, wait, stop. Hang, chill for a minute. No, nobody died for the right to vote. Man, maybe she's gonna clear it up. I didn't give her a chance. It triggers me. I get triggered too. Nobody died for the right to vote. So maybe some of the stupid people did. Some of the dumb people, the ones who just did not get it. They died for the right to have say in their government. They're governing. Nobody died for the right. Nobody died for the right to pull that lever, and nobody did that. They died because they want to control the kingdom. They didn't want to have a king who a central point of failure do it. They died for the right. And once you realize that you're not actually controlling what's happening in your country, it is your obligation to stop voting. Nobody died to vote. That's the most controlled oppositional thing I've ever heard in my life. So hopefully she clears it up. Let's see if she clears it. She probably gonna clear it up. She's intelligent. I think she might.
But we also have to be clear that no matter who's in office, it does make a difference, but it's not gonna address the systemic problems that are creating harm for people across this country and all over the world. And so that's why I focused on organizing in the street, organizing in
You know what? I'm sorry. Can we get some happy faces on that one? Hell yeah! I don't even know who she is. This woman gets it. Lisa Fithian, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I was about to be see, I wasn't even sure I was gonna watch the rest of it, but she didn't click. She hit it. She hit it. This is where my hope is. I know your hope is in Bernie and Ocasio and Tulsi and Buttigieg and everybody else, man, Trump and whoever. My hope is in people starting to actually talk about the systemic root problems with the system. So let's let this system continue on. This is where my hope is at. I think we are in a mass awakening. I think people are starting to discover consciousness. They're taking the red pill. They're using critical thought. I think a lot of these young people realizing their parents have been fools and idiots and ignorant and run a slave, run amok, and Plymouth Rock didn't land on them. They've landed on that, and I messed that quote up. But that's my hope. My hope is we didn't talk like this 10 years ago. We didn't talk about root cause analysis. We didn't talk about systemic problems. We talked about robbing Peter to pay Paul because Peter and Paul and was on this side and that side. Now, this is where I think things might be about to change, but this is why also they're rolling out 5G.
Community trying to build those alternatives, no matter who's in power.
You said your job is to create a crisis for those in power because crisis is the leading edge where change is possible. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's interesting. There's two pieces I want to bring. I've done some work around permaculture, how sustainable, and they talk about the edge is where there's the greatest change. But even more, when I was working on this book, I began to learn about complexity science. And as I read about this, I was like,
you jumped ahead, but go ahead, explain what it is.
She did jump ahead. So hang on, permaculture. Y'all know permaculture? Everybody got permaculture down. I think we talked about that a little while ago. Permaculture, yes, it's when you're farming. No, it has nothing to do with farming. It has nothing to do with it at all. Like, what? You have nothing to do with farming? No, it doesn't. Permanent culture. It is a word that means sustainability across the board. It can apply to farming, but it applies to permanent culture, sustainability. Or do you have something that is sustainable socially? Do you have a police state? Are you writing more laws or are you actually solving problems? Because laws don't solve problems. Laws kick the can down the road. These are things that you don't know how to solve. So you create laws in a police state and a mass incarceration complex because you don't want to fix the environmental problems and make people do the things that they do. Right? Are you actually solving problems? If you're solving problems, that's sustainable. That's permaculture. Social permaculture. Are people getting better? Are they getting more pleasant? Are they socially interacting better and better with each other? Are they steadily getting worse? That's pharmaceuticals. Do you have a permacultural medicine environment? Are people getting healthier and healthier? Are they getting sicker and sicker? Right? Do you see what I'm saying? You're going with that? Is it something that's sustainable? Is it something that's permanent? Or can you see an end point at a certain date? Your environment and farming. Is it permanent? Can it sustain itself? You should be smart enough that you're building systems that are sustainable. If the system's not sustainable, then it's not. Blowing up other nations and stealing their oil. How sustainable is that? You made a whole world hate us, and the whole world, if they had half a chance and 32 nukes, America would not even exist anymore. Why? Because we've completely gone an unsustainable, non-permanent, it's not a permanent culture they're building. They're building an empire. No empire is everlasting because no empire is based in permaculture. You cannot have a permaculture empire. It will never exist. You murder people, their grandkids will eventually rise to power and murder you or your grandkids. You see what I'm saying? I love what she's saying. But so permanent culture, right? And this is what we did in corporate America, which is why I try to take everything I've learned and reapply it to positive things now. Is it permanent? Are you writing software that eventually will go defunct? It has syntax errors, or is it getting better and better, or does it work? It's about getting better. Are the kids committing more suicide, or are they committing less suicide? Are your soldiers committing more suicide, or permanent culture? That's what permaculture means.
And who?
Sure. Well, it's the science of how organic living systems, how change happens in organic living systems. And there's a concept called the edge of chaos. And I had learned through actually my work with Justice for Janitors that
Let's just recap. That was about a wage for janitors in DC. It was a week long. You dragged cars, the dead cars, and left them on the road.
I did, and I know I'm jumping around because
That's
it's
all right,
like there's
that's
this lifelong learning and
Right,
things
right.
weave together. So yeah, in the 1990s, I was working for the Justice for Janitors campaign, which was a nationwide fight to improve the conditions of janitors and increase wages. And people had been organizing for a long time and not getting to where they needed to be. So in 94 and 95, we did what we called Weeks of Rage, where we organized weeks of actions and shut down the bridges, shut down the intersections of DC, took over buildings. And as a result of that work, there was like majority unionization of the janitors in DC and
You
around
said
the country.
80%, right?
It was somewhere between 70 and 80%, the majority of the market. And they're still unionized today and have good conditions. It's all relative. So all that being said and done, Chris, I've really come to understand that our movements have to be willing to create a social crisis. And one of the things I'm trying to spread as I go around talking with this book and I organize in different sectors of our movement, I recognize there's a lot of fear around that. There's fear of crisis, there's fear of chaos or organized chaos. But if we're not willing to create the kind of disruption that will force the power holders to make different choices, we're going to continue to be dealing with a lot of pain.
We're going to go extinct.
We're going to go, thank you. We're going
to go extinct. Bottom line, force the power holders to make different decisions. Your only power is if you're doing something and you see government responding. Me personally, like I said, I've been voting my whole life. They've never responded. They have not created anything more sustainable or any more permanent. They continue to take the money and make things worse. So this lady is spot on, and she came from a different movement. I've never heard of this movement. I've never heard of Justice for Janitors, and I grew up in DC. That's really, it probably makes sense. I mean, I don't watch too much news, but they try to stifle the movements that make sense. I think we've all come from different places. I mean, my movement wasn't Justice for Janitors, it was children's rights. You know, when I really discovered that children were being kidnapped and taken by government, and people, husband and wives, turned against each other in divorce, destroying lives for the children. And that's when I got involved. Everybody came from a different angle, but it seems that enough people, I think, are arriving at this same central point that we have to force the system to make sustainable decisions, no longer cheering it, not making sustainable decisions. And that's what that whole thing was about with Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy's still around. I'm not coming at you, brother. I'm just simply saying that we have to actually do things that the system does not want, because the system murders people and it's not sustainable. All right. I can't watch the rest of it because I got slavery up. I'll post the link. You can watch the rest of it. Oh, this is fantastic. Who is it? I moved the screen up so you can see it. Unfortunately, you can't really see her name because RT is funded in whole or part by the Russian government. So everybody say it together. Thank you, Russian government, because our government ain't worth a damn. Thank you, Russia. Thank you. The folks who don't get it, they're like, wait a minute, they subjected our election. They subverted our election. First of all, only one nation subverts everybody's election. That's us. And two, your Federal Reserve has a lot more to do with who gets elected. These central bankers have a lot more to do with who gets elected. These massive corporations than anybody in the United States at all, and let alone Russia. But I had to move it up so you could see. Her name is Lisa Fithian. Don't know her. I already love her to death. I'm gonna watch the rest of it. When people say things that make great sense to me, I will pay attention to them. When they say the same old bullshizzle that, hell, here are the things we're gonna give you, here's the reparations we're gonna give you from other people we're enslaving and robbing around the planet, I'm not interested. I don't do plea deals. I don't do deals with criminals, crooks, thieves, colonizers, rapists, and slavers. I don't do deals with y'all. Y'all are poisoning my water, my food, my oxygen, my air. You're rolling out 5G, trying to poison my body. I'm not interested in anything they got to say. This one, I'll watch the rest of it. So hopefully you'll watch the rest of it as well. I'll do anything I can to promote people who actually have solutions. If you're just trying to do the same old bullshizzle, I'm not interested. That's what I appreciate Chris Hedges. I don't always agree with him. I'm pretty sure I won't always agree with Lisa Fithian, but I'll agree with anyone who doesn't want to stay in the current path. And I'll try to discuss and talk with them as much as possible so we can come to some kind of agreements on what the root cause problem is. And everybody I've had these discussions with who are open-minded, we've always ended up back at the same problem. Money. That's the problem with it all. Is it always comes down to capital, this thing that was created to control the human being. And controlling human beings is not a sustainable thing. Money is a representation of labor, and you know humans don't want to work. Let me say it the right way. Humans don't want to do your work, and that's what this is about. Right? If I were the kings and lords and I had more jewels back in that day, and I'd create a society, I'd break your barter system, and I would force Jamie, Tony, Daniel, Desiree, Jonathan, and Lorna to do my work, and Jack, because I'm lazy. That's not a good thing, right? Eventually those people will get mad at me, they're gonna get upset, they got work to do. Why they gonna do my work? Why in the world would they wanna do my work? They got their own work to do. That's what an economy is about. That's what a GDP is for, is to get you to do somebody else's work and then you do your work on the weekends. You do your work for your kids and your family and your husband and wife and whatever you got when you're not working for the lords and kings. That's why it has to go away. It always ends up in money, because as long as money, capital is the basis of your system, the capitalists will run the system. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know that I'm right, people. Like I said, this is an open discussion. I just throw ideas and thoughts out there, and hopefully some of it resonates with you. And if it does, then you hit the like button, or they say you smash subscribe, and you share it out. And hopefully that starts a discussion with your friends. But hopefully you do your research so that when they come back at you, you have answers for that. And my answer for everything, I try to keep it simple and I make memes. Let me find the answer. Hold on, y'all know my answer. My answer to everything. You might think I'm a smart A, but to me it's real simple. We live in a fantasy time. We used to know it all. We thought we knew everything. We grew up, we had everything was answered. It was in the Encyclopedia Britannica, and the world didn't change too much. Now we know pretty much the entire Encyclopedia Britannica was wrong. The only thing that really matters right here, that's an F-18 right there, and that's a UFO right. That's all that matters. That's all. This is it right here. That's it. Every meme I did, but 25% of the memes I do this year all gonna be that UFO right there. Why? Because now all the world's governments admit they have free energy, so you ain't got no business working for nobody else. Now you can make the robots, the automation, the software, for these corporations go do their own dirty work. And you need to be free. You need to be raising your children. You need to be loving that husband or that wife, or you need to be going doing the things that make you happy and pleasant. Because when you're not happy and pleasant, you make my life rough. When you make my life rough, then I got a problem. Because you're out there robbing, stealing, and killing, and outraging, and having a bad day. Because people having bad days love company. Then the whole world ends up having a bad day because you're having a bad day. If you just want to go out there and pick apples or color pictures and color in the dots or whatever you want to make, little mushrooms out of cotton balls. I want you to be the best mushroom maker out of cotton balls you can. I want to make sure you got all the paint that you need to go do that. That's what we need to do. Free the human race, because we're humans. We're not systems. We're not Democrats. We're not Republicans. We're not Americans. We're not Britons. We are human beings at the core of it. I'm fine with all your little groups and cults and stuff if you want to do that above and beyond. But at the core of it, you are a human being. You should always be on the side of the human race. It always comes back to this free damn energy device. It doesn't matter if it's aliens on that. It doesn't matter. First, if it doesn't matter if it's aliens, how come you keep saying the Space Force? Well, that's just what I think. The point is, whether it's ours or not, somebody has free energy on this planet, and there's a TR-3B patent that says it's the United States government. They robbed and stole it. They stole it from Tesla, and it's more owned by their family. Tesla wanted to do this for the whole world. Now it's obvious what they were doing. They robbed him when he died. They looted the body. They ain't even wait till the body was cold. Tesla was still warm when they went in there and stole all of that. Stole all his documents. And since then, they've been looting Americans. Every piece of technology y'all made, every corporation made a piece of technology. That patent office, as soon as you apply for your patent, they swoop right in, because we need this to make the bearings, and we need this to make the toilet for the UFO, and we need this to make the water system, and we need this, and they just stole everybody's patents. These criminales, as they say that on who's that? Escobar. Criminales. The patent office are criminals. They steal and rob from their citizens to create technology that they don't share with the people. Always comes back down to this damn free energy device. And until we accept the fact that no human being should be enslaved to they hate life and they make your life rough with their drama, I have no interest in your government. You people, that'll help me with Bernie. Bernie, yeah, if you can get him to see that damn free energy device, we're good to go. All right, I'm gonna do comments and I'm gonna run. Who was that woman? That was Lisa Fithian. Somebody asked that question. I just posted it. Let me see. Just going where I'm not called an idiot. Nobody's an idiot, Matthew. Sometimes I slip and say it. I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. I try not to say it. Ignorant's the right word. Everybody's ignorant. I'm ignorant. You're ignorant. Your mama ignorant. Grandmama ignorant. Kids ignorant. We're all ignorant because we're always kept from what's true. The people who are all knowing on this planet tend to be robbing, killing, stealing, and we let them have the secrets. That's why one of the biggest issues is there can be no more secrecy in government. Because we're ignorant. They like to keep us ignorant, and that keeps us in conflict with one another. We empower. Yes, we do, Brother Jack, and we empower people. They become beautiful things. When we take power from them, they become aggressive and violent, and they do these things that are violent. You know, the only crimes are violent. There's no such thing as a non-violent crime. It never existed on this planet in the past, and doesn't exist now, and never will exist in the future. Those are all political inmates, political prisoners, people who are growing green things and selling plants from the Garden of Eden that your God made, and they put people in prison for growing that stuff. That's none of that is a crime. Not in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, anywhere. Not in the laws of humanity and natural law. You empower people, they become great things. But that's what they do, Brother Jack. They take people's power. They take people's power to heal themselves. They take their power to deal with their pain. So they go to big pharmaceutical companies and buy synthetic drugs that have side effects that give you cancer years down the road or just kills you. You know, captive customers. That's what we are. Anyway, good morning, Desiree. Good morning, Susan. I'm getting down through comments and I'm gonna go. I've never heard of it either. The revolution will not be televised. No, Brother Jack, it can't be televised because they own the television. The billionaires own the television, and the last thing they want is for people to actually realize what's going on. So the revolution will never be televised, not any significant way. And when it is televised, it's a fake illusion. It's not a revolution. It's a fake illusion. It's run by the billionaires. No politicians. You don't stage a revolution from inside. I can't believe people believe this stuff. I used to believe it. You can't revolt from inside the system. It just does not work. Politicians can't lead a revolt. The people do. And you need a paradigm shift to lead a successful revolt. This free energy device, that's a paradigm shift. That means there's no reason for you to be at work and in artificial scarcity. Love is all that matters, and rulers do not love us. They don't love us, Lori, and love is all that matters. That's what the world's missing. All it's missing is love. That's what the world needs now is love. It doesn't need technology, doesn't need robots, doesn't need automation, doesn't need free energy. All of that stuff is invented. It's all very, very old. All people need is the consciousness and the love to not want to rob each other using that technology to do it. That's all people need. We're cattle. Yes, we are cattle, Lord. We are consenting cattle. We need to stop being cattle, start being bulls. And yes, we're chattel as well. We are chattel because we're cattle. We'll make our kids cattle. We need to grow the hell up and wish freedom for our species. There's only one race. It's the human race. I read yesterday that you can use apple cider vinegar as an astringent for your face, especially for broken blood vessels. Also washing your face in warm water instead of hot can help. I think there are all kind of great secrets, Megs, that have been kept from us. But this is why when the world was colonized, they deleted everybody's information. They deleted their texts, their scriptures, their cultures, the things that made them sustainable, so we wouldn't go get apple cider vinegar, which kind of cures almost every damn thing. I got people got apple cider vinegar, Megs, and they put it on everything. They put it on things that I won't even say. But they got rid of that information to make us captive customers to go to CVS and Walgreens. Buying from these big pharmaceutical companies creating synthetic drugs. It always comes down to capital, right? We can fix the pharmaceutical industry. You just got to take capital out of the system. About justice for janitors was on DC News. Nothing important is real is. No, it's not, Sharon, and it probably wasn't in the Washington Post. And if it was, it didn't get enough attention, right? Because that's how this system works. We have to stop trusting the media. Trust your logic, your common sense, your critical thought. Trust your friends. Trust people who are being banned on Facebook. Trust people being kicked off of YouTube. Trust the people who are posting things that these billionaire NATO organizations that filter all the truthful information. Trust them, or you trust that damn news. Teresa, we could use some chaos. We could use some peaceful chaos. Absolutely. Gerard, great. Gerard, another great live. Thank you, Lori. Live is weird. I'm getting used to it. It's a weird thing. There's no editing. There's nothing. Crazy things can happen on this. It's a little weird, but it usually works out. We got a good crowd of people. People, they love my mistakes and they go with it, but they clear up where I mess up and misspeak. And as long as we work together on this, we can make some serious video live streams that I think will be useful for people. Discussions. That's what we need. More discussions. More out of the box thinking, more open minds. Going on 9 years with no network TV, only movies and docs. That's not true, Daniel. You're doing mushrooms also. That's not true. You're expanding your mind, so you got some psychedelics working in there too. Good morning, Lorna. Good morning, Alex. Let me see. Get down at the bottom. Root cause, dirty politics. Yes, Jack, because the politicians want money. As long as they need that capital, they're gonna lie, cheat, and steal, get us lying, cheating against, stealing against everybody else. Politics has to die, people. It has to go extinct. When you get rid of money in the capital and the politicians can't get great retirements for helping extinction speed along by poisoning their populations, great things can happen. But as long as we allow them to be able to take that lobbyist money, then somebody's gonna do it. Somebody, you can get rid of every politician in office and it's gonna be a vacuum. It's gonna fill right back in with dirty, corrupt politicians because the system praises crime. Crime pays. It totally pays. Crime pays when you know the right people. Now you don't know the right people, it doesn't pay. But crime pays if you're paying the right people. That's how that works. Always worked that way. Brother Tony, good morning. Let me see. Our freedoms are now memes, and that's getting us jailed now. Right? Well, Daniel, the problem with memes, people read them. That's the problem. People, you post a book, they don't read it. That's why I don't post nothing that's longer than 138 characters. I don't post anything. You know what? I'll mess my grammar up. I'll take out a few periods and points. I'll use the ebonics. I'll use anything I can to keep it within meme size. If it's within meme size, the people will read it. If it's beyond, if it's not a big text, well, one, it's got to be big text like the jitterbug, and two, people don't. If it's a paragraph, they won't read it. People who love the truth. Y'all want people to read your posts? Understand that this is just the world we live in. People don't really have time. Slavery is hard. Some people are lazy, some can't read, but slavery's hard for everybody. You know, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't read paragraphs. I don't. It really, it has to be one of the like hardcore truthers. If they write a paragraph, I read it. Because like somebody like Tony, I read his paragraph. I wish he wouldn't write, but I'll read them because I know something deep in there. You know, Daniel writes it, or Christine, or Rebecca, Norma, Jonathan. Like one of the people that like really always nailing it. I know there's some good information in there. I just wish they would. I wish they would appeal to my laziness and slavery too. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes it's too much, and it has to go in a paragraph. But real talk, Daniel. I mean, memes are the problem. That's why they're banning them. That's why they're having meetings all over the world to discuss memes. Like, you think about it like that. Is it Germany? They made memes illegal or something crazy like that? Like, I mean, think about grown adults getting together to stop children from making pictures with text less than 138 characters. You know, you're nailing it then. It's short and to the point. I can't be short and to the point. That's not my place. I like discussions. That's why my videos will go 2-3 hours long. But when it comes to memes, I know we have to put them, we got to make it short. We are not free. We are enslaved from birth. Our social security numbers and certificates are our shackles. Go on, preach, Jamie. The British government owns us. Our taxes go to them along with other entities. Absolutely. Jamie, you're nailing something there. In fact, I got to promote somebody real quick. You just remind me. You were going there, Jamie. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you only know that if you actually read. There are people who do not read at all. I just made a new friend. Let me find this brother right here, because y'all need to follow him. He actually teaches the law and powerful, powerful stuff. I don't have time to watch every single one of his videos, but he's nailing. I think he's out of the UK, but he does it from a US and or a legal perspective. It doesn't really matter where you are if you understand it. Where is this brother? I'm probably in trouble for posting this. But I don't really have a choice. You got to make friends with people who know what they're talking about. This brother right here you go right here. This brother knows what he is talking about. I'll be nosy in my friends list. These are my new friends. Hey, new friends. Love me some new friends. This brother right here. Mark Christian Christopher. Y'all need to go on over to my page. You need to find him and follow him. This brother is nailing it. This brother is showing you the law and how to get past it. Y'all need to watch this brother's videos. He actually teaches. You can take a class, and he has a website teaching you about law. This is the brother who I learned from, who explained why everything's in uppercase. Everything's in uppercase. Why is it in uppercase? Because in the sailing days, when you went out to sea, you were considered dead. And so you had to write your name in all uppercase. And most people die at sea. And why would they do that? So if you came back, and most people didn't come back, you put your name in lowercase. So everybody in uppercase is dead. They're considered dead at sea. I believe I'm saying that right. Dead at sea. And so if you're dead at sea, then you're not a human being. You're not a life. You're not an entity. You are a corporation or a nothing, which means you can't own anything for the most part. I'm probably saying a little wrong, but this is a brother y'all should follow. Absolutely. I promote anybody who's speaking truthful things, and he's got a lot of videos on Facebook and YouTube explaining the law and takes you through the actual law. Very important thing. We were tricked. Jamie, I thought it was nuts and crazy until I started reading it. I was like, oh my gosh, we actually consent to this world. We actually are consenting to the murder of all of these people. It's insane. It is insane. Hey, listen, everything I was taught as a child was a lie. And this is the only way we're going to get out of this mess, y'all. Is love, consciousness, positive energy, working together, getting together with people who are actually reading this scam. I'm going to tell you something creepy. And I'm going to get out of here. I think it's creepy that there's something about consent in the universe. There is something to it. Because there are some people who talk about it, and I'm not going to claim that I know a lot about it, but this from everything from Visitor at the Pentagon or Stranger at the Pentagon, that book that I need to read, the UFOs and aliens, consent and whatever else. How come the aliens won't come save us? What did I post this weekend? I posted if the aliens come, it's gonna be a challenge. I'm not sure whose side I'm gonna be on. I was and who came for me? I think it was Brother Emilio. Somebody got upset, didn't like that. Said, well, the aliens ain't gonna save us. I said, well, to be truthful, I didn't say that the aliens were coming to save us. I said if the aliens come, I'm probably gonna be on their side if y'all are still dropping bombs on buildings, right? let me I gotta do something here real quick. Because sometimes saving us might be going extinct. I don't know. I'm on the side of the children who were born on this planet and all they want to do was live. And we wanted to rob them. And so we dropped a building on their country, or we dropped bombs on their country and buildings on them. I might be on the alien side if they kind of, I had to promote the aliens real quick. Although I think most of them probably look like us, not like that. There's something about consent. And maybe, well, first of all, I don't think that we should get total help. I don't think that's what these planets are for. I think life evolves on them in their laboratories. And if you discover sentience and consciousness and how to love each other and work together as a collective, I think you get to stay. Short of that, you go extinct. The aliens come, I'll probably be on their side. And I'm not saying that they're going to save us, because I'm sure after they finish blowing everybody else up or zapping them or something, rat-tat-tat-tat. That's what I want. I want the Mars attack aliens. I want them to have big glass bubbles and have ray guns. Zap, 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 zap. I'm gonna be on this side no matter what. I'm telling you right now. I'll let you know. And let the government know too. The aliens come, you're not gonna scare me into joining y'all. I'm not gonna get an M16. I'm gonna get a rack, tack, 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 laser gun. Rack, tack, tack, tack. I'm gonna do that and get one of them big fishbowl heads. If you watch the movie Mars Attacks. Because I think there's something about consent. I think that, well, why won't the aliens, the angels, or whatever help? We consent to them not help. We consent to this. And this is where I think law and that energy works together, right? It's weird. Somebody mentioned this to me a long time ago, and I'm gonna mess it up and try to explain it. I'm learning. I'm just trying to learn. Why would aliens, angels, demons, whatever they are, why would they help you? Multi-dimensional creatures, people from the future, whatever. Why would they help an entire planet full of billions of people who consent to murdering each other and stealing the resources. Not only is that psychopathic and probably needs to go extinct, we consent to it. That's why I think the law is important. I think governments get away with what they do, maybe because there are laws in this universe. I'm an old Trekkie head, and there was a prime directive, right? Maybe there's some sort of a prime directive that says, well, if the people consent to it, you can't get involved, right? I think we do need to stop consenting. I think there's something to that energy, that consciousness of getting behind psychopathic projects and psychopathic nations and psychopathic needs. Something to it. I don't understand it. Something to it. Consent. Anyway, I did get going. Listen, y'all have a wonderful, awesome day. This was Gerard. It was fun. What is this? All knowing among the unknown. We don't know anything. We don't even know what's at the bottom of the ocean, people. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's false. It's all been kept from us. Have an open mind. Think positively. Try to do good things and learn to love more each day. Learn to become more permacultured with love every day. The more you love, the more sustainable you are, the more sustainable we are. We got to turn the ship around, y'all. Got to turn that bus around like that old lady used to drive your bus. Don't make me turn this bus around. Yeah, it's time to turn the bus around. We need to go back to school. That's exactly where we need to go. Anyway, we need to go back to love. I had to go. It's Gerard. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Got to get out of here. Enjoy slavery is what you got to do. Just for now, till we grow up and decide to build a new world. Anyway, got to go. Y'all have a great day. Bye.